Hi everyone, Abby here, and welcome back to my channel for Tech Tuesday, or welcome if you're new. Now today I'm going to be reviewing 2 smart scales for you guys, because you know the beginning of the year is always new year, new me, and I actually picked up some in December and I've been testing them out. It's now February and I am sufficiently ready to give you guys a full comparison of 2 leading smart scales in the market. Now I'm going to be comparing the Hume Body Pod composition scale here to the Renpho Morphoscan Nova. So this is the newest one from Renpho here. Now I've been testing these for weeks now and I'm gonna let you guys know which one I decided to keep because I'm only keeping one of them. Now I do want to preface by saying I'm just sharing my honest opinion and experience with you guys. I'm by no means like a fitness expert, I'm just an average girl out here. So I'm going to be covering the major differences between both of these scales. Before I get into the differences, I'm going to go over the similarities for you guys so you can get an idea of what they have in common. So both of these smart scales here have 8-point electrodes to measure your entire body. They both can measure things like your BMI, your body fat, segmental muscle, water content in your body, your muscle percentage, your muscle mass, skeletal muscle mass, your metabolic age. They both have a glass surface as well that you are stepping on. Both of them are rechargeable via USB-C. They both work wirelessly with Bluetooth connection to sync to your phone to get your data on there. They both do have a free app that you can use. And of course, they can both measure your weight and more. So getting into the differences now, the first difference between these scales is the price. And for the current prices as of recording, starting off with the Renpho Morphoscan Nova. It's currently on for $269.99 Canadian and $199.99 American. And that's actually a sale price for both because it is currently on sale as of making this video. I'll throw the regular price on screen for you guys as well. And when it comes to the Hume Body Pod, it's currently on sale as well for $239.99 Canadian and $183 American. So regular price for that is also on screen for you guys. These are both very expensive scales. I think you guys probably know that coming into the video. A lot of people are using these scales as alternatives to getting a DEXA scan because those are very expensive. So if you're comparing it to that, basically the price of like one scan is gonna buy you this scale, which you can do unlimited scans at home. So it could be a great option for you if you're considering to use it a lot. And one thing I do want to mention is that Renpho did hook me up with a discount code to give to you guys to save some money on this scale. So you can save 10% by using code ABR, which stands for AbbyBReviewing, and you guys can save yourself 10% off there. And if you want to get either of these scales, I'll have the links in the description for you. And with the discount code I did provide you guys for Renpho, you can use it on top of the sale price. However, Hume did not give me a code. I'm sorry, guys. Both of these are very expensive scales. The good thing about it is that they are on sale a lot of the time, pretty much all the time. And I would definitely not recommend buying at the regular price because they are very pricey. They do differ a bit in terms of the design. The Hume Body Pod here is more compact than the Renpho scale. It is both lighter and it's just smaller in profile. There's about 1 inch more on the Renpho on the top and bottom. So this one's definitely a more compact scale. Another difference here is the handle. For the Hume here, you can see that there is a handle here with electrodes on both sides. And it does retract very easily into there. There's also a number that comes up here when you step on the scale, Bluetooth connection and the pounds. And then also you can see your heart rate on here. That's all the information that you could really see on the Hume. It does have feet at the back that are big and pretty grippy, so it doesn't move around at all. The charging cord is hidden in there underneath the handle. So I find the placement a little bit awkward myself. And I just think overall it looks very nice and sleek. Coming over to the Renpho, it's bigger and it's noticeably heavier. So if you are gonna be moving this a lot, like maybe you're sharing it with somebody and you're kind of moving back and forth, keep that in mind. It is definitely noticeably heavier. So as I mentioned, it's a lot wider. It does have a display built into the handle. And this one does have optional sound, which could be helpful for you. I honestly found it annoying when I use it. I turn it off, but it could be helpful because it does let you know when your readings are done. The sound as well could also be very helpful for you, especially if you are vision impaired or if you're someone who doesn't have the best eyesight. Having it read stuff to you is very helpful. Here you'll be able to see your pounds if you step on it. And after reading, this does cycle through your basic metrics like your body fat. Charging slot is right here on top of the handle. This one is retractable as well. And I really do like on the handle here that there's a spot for your thumbs to go, like a little divot, and then electrodes on the back. That it does have a little power button. However, if you do step on it, it turns on automatically. Same with the Hume, if you step on it, it will turn on. And the Renpho also has the same kind of grippy feet that work very well. It does not move around at all when you are using it. Overall, definitely a nice looking scale in my opinion. And if you're finding this video helpful so far, please go ahead and smash that like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. Now when it comes to user experience here, both scales are easy to use. Now both of these scales do need to be used on a flat surface, so on tile, on wood. Cannot use this on carpet or anything uneven. It just won't, work properly for you guys. You're not gonna get an accurate reading. And all the results you guys are gonna see are not my weight because I don't wanna share my weight with the entire world. I did get friend and some family members to step on the scale, so I'm gonna show you their data comparing the same person on each scale, just so you can see the accuracy of the readings there. So when you're using the Renpho scale, I feel like the Renpho is easier to use because you know exactly where to put your thumbs, your hands. There's also a little animation showing you what to do, what not to do when you're using the scale on the screen. So I think that just takes the guesswork out of it. So it's definitely the easier to use option because of that. I also like that the Renpho is a bit wider because you have a bit more room to stand on the scale. It makes it feel a little bit more comfortable, especially for me because my thighs do touch. I think having the display on the handle is very nice because you can see exactly what's going on and you don't have to look at your phone.
Weight measurement completed. Start measuring body fat, please. Keep your thumb and four fingers in contact with the handle electrodes and keep your arms straight at 45 degrees. The measurement is complete. Please check measurement results.
The scale, you do have to be synced to your phone to get your data saved on it and to view all your metrics, but you can just see kind of what the scale is doing. So that is something that I do like about it. Another thing about the Renpho scale here is that I found it connected to the app very easily. If you're sharing this scale with like a family, friends, whoever, and it can auto recognize up to 8 users. With the Renpho, 99.9% of the time when I am using the handle, it hitches. So I have to like kind of, wiggle it around to get it back into the, thing. So that is something that did annoy me with user experience using it over time. Now with the Hume here, it has a bit of a smoother experience. When I stand on the scale, it turns on faster. When I pull out the scale, the handle, it's very smooth. The scale feels more sturdy and the handle feels more sturdy. I don't know why that is because it's like a lighter build, but it just feels sturdier to me when I'm stepping on it. With the Hume, you don't really see anything on the scale, as I mentioned. You just see kind of your weight. You do need to see all of the metrics on your phone. And when it is taking a reading, you do have to have your phone kind of within eyesight so you can see when it's done taking a reading. Because it doesn't talk to you like the Renpho one can. So the Hume Body Pod scale takes around 20 to 30 seconds to do a reading. This is slower than the Renpho, which takes around 15 seconds. So this scale did connect really easily to my phone. Now, just talking a bit more about the app. So the Hume app does have kind of a paywall. So they have some things available for free, but they have some things that you have to pay more to view. Now, when it comes to your metrics, I believe you can see like 90% of your health metrics for free. But if you want to access their premium stuff behind the paywall, you got to pay for that. I'm using the free version and I'm able to see all the metrics that I care about. So it's helpful for me. It's also expensive if you do want to pay for their plan, but hey, that's an option if you want that. I do like that the Renpho scale, in comparison, it's all free. You don't have to pay a subscription for anything. Everything is available for you to see. There's no, extra charges there. When it comes to the apps though, the Hume app looks way better than the Renpho app. Just the way it is designed, the way you're navigating through it, it's just easier to use. In my opinion, a lot easier to see all of your metrics and swipe through. And the little avatar animation just looks better, showing you exactly where the muscle and fat is. It's a lot clearer on the Hume app compared to the Renpho app. So as you guys can see on the Renpho app, you still get a lot of information, but it has more of a learning curve in terms of figuring out where to find each metric. And there's also like, you have to swipe all the way to the bottom and then you have to click on like view more to see like your body composition layout. So I don't know why they even have that option. You should just be able to see everything. The reason I even decided to buy these smart scales is because the current scale I had, which was a 4-electrode scale, was not very accurate. I'd step on it 1 second and then I step on it the next minute and it's off by like a couple pounds. So it was not the most accurate. And both of these, in my opinion, have been very good in terms of accuracy. I have not done a DEXA scan, so I can't tell you like, oh, my results are the exact same as that, because I'm not willing to pay that much for just one scan. But I prefer to just put my investment into a scale. When it comes to the weight accuracy, I did go to the doctor's office. I got him to weigh me. He used the old-fashioned scales with the little things that you slide around. And then I went and weighed myself with both of these scales. Now, I was surprised to find out that the Hume was actually more accurate. The Hume was the exact percentage that the doctor, said it was. And the Renpho was off by 0.2 pounds. So not a huge difference there, but it was a difference. And I do find when I'm taking readings, usually the Hume is, spot on. I usually find that the Renpho is a bit different in terms of the readings. Sometimes the weight is the same, but sometimes it is off by 0.1, 0.2. And I think that weight being off does affect some of the other values, because your weight is used to, calculate a lot of different calculations, like BMI, for example. So I do think the Hume is more accurate when it does come to your readings overall, but the Renpho is not bad by any means. It might be different by, 1 to 5% max, but the results are very, very similar. Now, I did get someone to step on this scale, and you guys are going to see her metrics. So she is 5'11", she is 26, and you are going to see her measurements between both scales here. And you can see how they differ. So as I mentioned before, the weight and the metrics do differ slightly, max of 5% between each of them, but overall you're getting pretty similar values. And you guys can see here, and maybe you have a preference of which app you like the look of more, the navigation more. As I did mention, I do prefer the Hume myself, but they're definitely both very usable. And in my opinion, I do find both scales pretty accurate. Probably not as accurate as what you're gonna get from, a DEXA machine that's thousands of dollars, but for an at-home alternative, I think these are pretty great. Another thing is that both of these track a huge amount of health metrics, as I told you guys. The Renpho tracks up to 50, the Hume tracks up to 56. I don't really know what the difference is. I'm sorry, I don't know. It doesn't really say the exact 50 metrics. Hume is compatible with Apple Health, Google Health, and Samsung Health, where the Renpho app is compatible with Apple Health and Google. And I think that regardless of either skill you go with, consistency is key. So if you are someone who is constantly doing readings at the same time daily or weekly or whatever, you're gonna get pretty accurate readings, and you could see how you are changing over time. I think both of these scales are great tools if you are looking to, gain weight, lose weight, gain muscle, whatever you're trying to do, because they do show you the changes over time compared to just, a number on a traditional scale that doesn't really tell you much other than the weight. All right, guys, so when it comes to which scale I prefer, I would go with the Hume Body Pod scale here. Now, this scale for me is the winner just slightly, for a couple of reasons. I like the design more. I think it's a bit more sleek looking, aesthetically pleasing to me. I like that the handle is very smooth. I also like the app more. It's dark mode. It looks better. It's easier to navigate for me. And I like that the Hume is just a little bit more accurate. Now, that being said, I still think the Renpho is a great scale. And if you went with that, I don't think you'd be disappointed either. I especially like the little thumb indents there, and that it has a built-in display, a bit wider of a scale, and faster readings overall. You save about 10 seconds or so per reading. Now, you guys have heard my opinion. Let me know in the comments below which scale you'd prefer and why. And if you have either of these or tried them out, let me know what your experience was like. Now, if you guys are looking to pick up either of these smart scales, I've gone ahead and left a link down in the description for you to use. Using both these scales, I have found very helpful. It is nice seeing the changes that are going on with the scale, because if you're just stepping on a scale that just shows you your weight, you don't really see what's going on with your muscle, what's going on with the fat. You might just see your number going up and down and not know why. So I really like that these do provide more information here in terms of figuring out what is going on if you're on a weight gain or weight loss or whatever kind of journey you are on. So yeah, this is my opinion here. I'm sticking with the Hume. If you guys want to see me do a review of just the Hume, let me know. So that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.